So I'm Sarah. I'm the head of customer service for a company called SureFlap, as Henry very kindly said. And he kind of stole my opening bit, so I'll repeat myself. I have been to every Happy Workplace conference. And something I found when I started working at SureFlap was we had really great customer service. And I thought that was great. And I looked a little deeper into it. And what I realized was actually that we loved coming to work every single day. And we all loved working with our friends. And so I started finding out why and how that leads to great customer service. So that's kind of the story I'm going to tell you today. A little bit about our business, then a little bit about some of the premises that we use from the Happy Manifesto. So I came across Henry, and I'm so nervous and so excited to speak here because this is my favorite day of the year, I have to say. So without any further stuff, meow then, who are SureFlap? So I basically get to use my talks as a way to show pictures of cats and make cat puns, which, you know, that's what we do at work all day. So we started in 2007. Our MD's cat Flipper had a problem with intruder cats getting in. Anyone who knows about animal behavior means he was stressed because his territory was being invaded. Nick's an incredibly intelligent man, so as he describes it, he just made a new technology which reads the identification microchip in the back of your cat that they get from the vets and gives your cat their own door key. So that's super, and it works amazingly. And we've just grown. We've got an excellent company now. I started as the fourth person in the business, so we've been really focused on customer service basically since day one. And as Henry said, we have, for the last 7 years since I've worked there, had a Net Promoter Score globally of over 95%. In some countries, that's like as high as 99%. And we test that with every customer that we touch base with. And I think even more so when I've been doing the research, I realized my favorite, actually above the Net Promoter Score, which is nice, is that in 7 years in my department, focusing on those happy workplaces and using those Happy Manifesto things, we've actually had 0 turnover in 7 years. So I've had some staff who've moved up, but everybody who started working with me is still in our company. And I think that's an exceptional piece of information to be able to give and to share. So I'll talk a little bit about that. Now I have followed Henry's advice, so I'm doing a completely different talk than I normally give. So I have to check my notes, I'm afraid. But that's a little bit about SureFlap, what we do and who we are. Told you. So we like to give perfect customer service. And I want to talk a little bit about my favorite customer service story that we've had for years. And that story is my first employee. So she told me the story about a customer who phoned up. It was Christmas time, really elderly gentleman. He was a veteran, and he was in tears. So she came up to me and she said, oh, I've arranged for him to have a replacement of our cat flap. I've arranged for him to have a fitter come and fit it for free. He couldn't do anything himself, and it's Christmas time. We have a great relationship with them, so they're actually going to do it for free as well. Lovely story. And my favorite bit about the story is actually that customer was not a SureFlap customer. He was one of our competitors' customers, and he couldn't get a hold of them for 3 months. And so he ended up phoning us, trying to get someone to help him. And my fantastic team didn't ask, didn't do anything. She sorted the problem out for him, sent him one of our products, sent out a fitter. He is our happiest customer. He phones me every couple of months. We have a chat. We had a chat on his 90th birthday just before I went off on maternity leave. And for me, that's really key to how my team work. So they get trained for 6 months. I tell them not to worry if they don't get the detail of our products because they're quite technical for 6 months. And then we trust them. I trust my team to do anything. That means they can go to people's houses, and they do. That means they can have conversations like that and create that kind of amazing service, which it doesn't do anything for the bottom line of the business so much, but the storytelling power within our business about that's how my team are allowed to behave. They have no SLAs. So we measure customer service, but we don't actually have any, sorry, those are service level agreements. How many people here have customer service, either internal or external, in their business? Oh, that's good, that's good. So a few people. And one of the things for me that does is that creates an idea. So you can train people and again test them and all those kinds of things like we were hearing before. But to me, that story is a much more powerful way of sharing how to give great service and how we do allow the team to do that. Because lots of people come to us and are scared of the no kind, or they feel there's no rules. So they need to learn where those boundaries are, those freedom within the guidelines that Henry talks about. And that's my favorite story of how we do that. And I would, again, consistently trust and train your staff and then just let them do their jobs, because that's what they're good at. Hopefully you've hired the right person. And then perfect customer service, I think making it easy. So making it easy in customer service, I don't know if anyone's come across this, making it easy is the new great as far as customer service is. My favorite statistic, the only, I think, statistic I'll give you today is that 80% of companies think they give great customer service and 8% of their customers agree. I kind of feel like that's the only statistic you ever need to think about. And I think that maybe creating happiness or focusing on well-being in the workplace might be a similar number. That lots of companies talk the talk and they think they do a great job and they make all the right rules. And if you ask their employees and they were able to talk about it, you might get a similar number. I don't know that. I haven't seen any figures, but I wouldn't be surprised. So I think one of the best things you can do is make it easy. And one of the first years, Henry, you had this conference, we had Don Monkhouse talking about his removing stupid rules, which I love. So he pays his staff, or he did at the time, £50 if they can tell him a stupid rule in their business, and then he gets rid of it. I think that's amazing. So I've taken a little bit of that and a little bit of Sean Achor, who's the happiness guru. Has anyone not heard of Sean Achor? Excellent. If you haven't heard of him, Google his TED Talk about happiness at work. It's amazing. And he has a 20-second rule that he talks about. So as human beings, by making something 20 seconds easier or 20 seconds harder, you can actually change human behavior. So one of the things we try to do at work is to make little changes that make things either 20 seconds easier for your staff or 20 seconds easier for for your customers to contact you, to make things better. And they're so infinitesimal, but in his study he talks about that the fact of opening a door to get his guitar out prevented him from playing his guitar. So something so small can make a huge difference. And that's something we did on a retreat, was we took those ideas and the Happy Manifesto. We talked a lot about our culture, what we wanted in our customer service team. And we made a list of things that are 20 seconds too hard for our customers and for our staff. And we have that list, I think it's all ticked off, hopefully, on the wall. And we've crossed them out as we've been able to do that. So that's something I'd like you to just take a minute on your tables and talk about is there something you could make 20 seconds easier when you get back to the office tomorrow for your staff or for your customers or for yourself that would make a change? Okay, did everybody come up with a good idea that they can do? I won't ask you about it because I have to talk really fast and I've gone too long already, so I will talk really fast. So the last thing I'll talk about in terms of customer service is just to listen. And that's the number one thing that you can do. I think that's come across already from Peter earlier. Listen to your staff. So my staff are empowered to make changes in our business. They can change our database. They can go talk to our CEO. They can go and talk to our engineers and suggest changes and make things different. And actually, most of the products that we've come out with, our new products or our modifications or our changes, our customer service things, have come from my team. Being able to talk to the customers. And so that's something really key, that people think of customer service as an afterthought, as something you do after your business. And actually that's just totally wrong, because they are the people who are talking to your customers every day. So we, with our Net Promoter Score, found that every time we actually got to speak to a customer, our Net Promoter Score went up. So when we talk to them a week after customer service, we get like an 87 score. When we talk to them a month after, it goes up to 91. And then when they talk to our customer service team, it's up 95 plus. So every time we're talking to those customers, we're making a big difference in the way they feel about us. So your customer service staff are really your first and only line to your customers. And if you're not listening to them, then I think you're in the wrong job. I'll be honest. They're the people who can tell you the most about your business. They'll be able to tell you how to fix problems. And if you give them that opportunity, they're going to make stuff faster, cheaper, better, everything. My team just do the business. They're amazing. So I'd like you to just think really quickly while I swap to my almost last slide about someone at your work who's on the front line that maybe you could talk to when you get in tomorrow or next week, and ask them how you could make your business better. So happy workplaces means business success, and I was hoping that Henry was actually going to speak before me to talk about all the fantastic financials, but they're in the book, page 36 maybe. But anybody who doesn't know, focusing on a happy workplace, the happy workplaces return much better than just your standard FTSE or anything else like that. Google the Parnassus Fund. I really want someone to start one in the UK so I can put my pension into it because it's amazing. But nobody has. So when you do that, you have this amazing business success. I think everybody knows John Lewis is amazing, and what do? They focus on their customer service, on the happiness of their staff. And we have done the same, and that means that we grew over 40 times in the first 5 years of business. We had an average of 68% year-on-year growth. And when I started, we were 4 people, like I said. So this focus has started right from the beginning. We were recently acquired, and that's got its own challenges, but we've been able to keep our culture. And sometimes I have to battle it a little bit more, but it's good. It's good for the brains, right? Sorry, I need to just check my notes, make sure I've said everything. And I think the financial benefits of a happy workplace are starting to be well known, but if you add that, if you have a happy workplace, great customer service follows. And so added to all the financial benefits there, you have $338 billion worth of lost revenue from bad customer service. So imagine happy workplaces, boom, you're getting part of that. 60% of customers are going to pay you more for a better experience. So once again, focusing on your happy staff, you're getting 60% of customers who will pay you more. Fantastic, who doesn't want that? And 24% of customers are going to do business with you for 2 years more, just from one positive interaction. So again, focusing on your happy staff, you get all the benefits of great customer service, and there's tons of them. I could talk about that all day. So a really quick question about why aren't you doing this already? And this is something I struggled with because I'm not the head of my company. I think some people don't have management buy-in, so you think you can't do anything. And what I ended up doing was taking on the ideas of tribal leadership, which is just to create a pocket of greatness. So if you can work and use those happy principles in the area that you're responsible for, then you are going to start to get the great results. And people are going to start to perk up and take notice. And actually, a couple of years ago, the rest of my business went, how come customer service are doing so well? How come they're always having a good time together? Why don't they have any turnover? And they started to pick up and to take notice. So you can do that. You can, whatever circle that you have, if you're not the owner or someone who can make those changes, you can create that fantastic little pocket of success. The other bit is maybe you think you are. Maybe you're part of that 80% that thinks they're doing a great job, but other people don't. So I always think, and we do this all the time, I think if you think you're doing a great job, ask around, think again, check with people and listen to what they're saying. And then allow your customers, so listen, allow your customers and allow your staff to tell you where you got it wrong. For every one customer who tells you they have a problem, there's 26 people who didn't even bother to contact you. So it could be your one chance to fix a really significant problem. And there you go. So there's a few quick, easy steps, I hope, to get started. I'll celebrate my mistakes because this is the first time I've ever done it with just cat pictures to guide me. But I would suggest to make a happy workplace, It will make customer service an organizational focus, and you'll get some of that money because it's amazing what that does for your organization. Get out of the way, train your people, trust them, and let them do their jobs. They want to do their jobs. They really do. Make it easy. So again, think of that 20-second rule. If you can do that tomorrow, I would recommend doing it. And then listen to your customer and your employee feedback. And I think if you can do those small things, it's just the start, but it will make an amazing change in your organization.